Welcome to the vlog that almost didn't exist, but I'm hoping that's going to be a very wonderful vlog of me reading books that I'm going to absolutely love. So, over the past couple of years, I realized that January is usually one of the strongest months of my year, and then I realized that's because I read the books that people put on their best books of the last year list. So January is just full of books that people have loved, and that's why January have been so successful for me. This year, after everything that happened in this country, I read only two books or three in January, and none of them were because of the fact that people loved them. None of them really meant that much to me. I only read them to get myself through the time that we were having in this country. Even though that's still going on, and I'm sure it's going to go on for a very long time, I have connection back, I have internet back somewhat. So I was able to finally watch my favorite booktubers, favorite books of the year videos, and then I decided to do this vlog with you. So I picked a few of my favorite booktubers, and from each list that they had, I picked one book. So one book from each person, and I'm going to try and read them with you, and let's just see if my favorite booktubers' taste match mine. Okay? Okay. So I'm going to start this vlog by reading a book that I actually have a physical copy of. And if you know me and my channel, you know that that's a very rare thing. I don't have access to physical books. I read them as an ebook or an audiobook. So this is very, very rare that I have a physical copy. So I'm going to be reading My Friends by Frederick Bachman. I wanted to read this book last year, didn't find the time, and I was really not ready for my heart to shatter because I know it will, because Frederick Bachman. But now I am, even though I'm still not really ready for a heartbreak. Everything is tough, so technically I should not be reading sad books, but I have this thing that when I'm sad, I read sad books, then I get myself even sadder, and then I get into an episode of depression. Let's just not talk about that. Let's just read a perfectly beautiful book, and the booktuber that I actually got this book off of their list is Sarah Caroli. She was one of the first booktubers that I ever watched, and she was one of my introductions into BookTube, so I'm very glad and honored to pick one of the books that she had on that list. We're going to be reading this book. Let's hope that we're going to love it. I am very excited to have a physical copy. This is very rare for me. I miss the feeling of holding a book and reading a book and being able to highlight it and annotate it and put a bookmark in it. I really miss that feeling. I'm going to update you when I have something to say. Okay? Bye for now. Okay, let me update you on my friends. I read 16% of it and I kind of need to talk to you about something. You know that I said, even though things are still sad, I'm going to read a sad book and it's fine because it's Bachman and I want to read this book. So it's fine that it's sad because that's what I do. I read sad books when I'm sad. I wasn't expecting it to be about grief, and with the general situation in here that everyone is grieving. As a nation, we are all grieving. We are 80 million people just grieving together, and the grief is everywhere. It's seeped into everything that we do. Honestly, it takes so much energy for me to sit here and talk to you because I'm like, is it the time to be talking about books? And people are hurt. Why am I doing this? People are dead. Why am I doing this? So it's like I wasn't expecting there to be this much grief in this book. Well, it's just my luck. I'm not going to stop reading it because I love it and I love his writing. I just wanted to update you and tell you that, okay, maybe if you're sad and if you're grieving someone that you loved, maybe don't read this book. Yeah, trigger warnings for grief, I think. It's not like big, like just about that. There are just some hard mentions, especially if you lost a friend. Trigger warning also if you lost somebody that you loved to suicide, be careful. It's not the main story, it's not just talking about it all the time, but it's the background of some of these characters. And yeah, just wanted to let you know that if you need to know that, just know that it hits hard and it's Bachman. So if he writes something, he just rips out your heart. Okay, I'm going to go and try read more of this and probably cry. I will update you later when there's something more important to say. See you. I'm 60% into this book right now, and okay, let's talk about it. I'm getting to know Louisa, our main character, more. She's a very sad teenager who had a very sad background. She kind of reminds me of Joe Wilson from Grey's Anatomy, if you know. I'm starting to get to know Ted. Ted is the one from the. Okay, I don't want to spoil anything. Let's just say that Louisa is now a teenager getting to know the past of Ted and his friend group that lived in a very bad part of the city, or a bad city. I don't really know right now. And they had a very tough childhood and teenage years. It was a dangerous place, it was not safe, they were not okay, but it was their friendship that kept them alive. And we're at that part that it's flying by, nothing traumatic is happening right now, but it's the point that you're like, I know things are going to go bad soon. And it keeps hinting that things are going to get bad, bad, bad. You're going to be devastated. It's going to break you. And I know that it's going that way. I'm really not ready for that. I'm already sad, and there's already so much sadness in this book, and I'm like, stop mentioning that. Stop telling me that things are going to get worse. I know. Stop saying it to me. I love Bachman's writing. He has beautiful writing, and I'm highlighting everything, I think, in this book. Okay, I'm going to read the first thing that came when I opened the highlight part. He calls out her name, the first time as an order, the second time as a negotiation, the third time as a prayer, the way a parent would scream at the sea. He just writes simple things in a very beautiful way, and I'm enjoying it so much. Enjoying it is not the right way to describe how I'm feeling. I'm being devastated by it, but I'm liking it. It's sad, it's Bachman. Oh, let's hope I just survive this book because it's really killing me. I don't want to read any more of it. I don't want to know where everything is going to end. I know it's going to be bad. It's still a 5-star book, but hard to read. So hard to read. I'll update you. If I can get through the next 40%, I'm going to update you. Wish me luck. Welcome to another day of the vlog. I have my coffee here. As you know, you've been seeing this mug many times. Hold on. Okay, let's just face the elephant in the room. I finished it. Last night I finished it, and honestly, it finished me. I don't know how to talk about this. First of all, 5 stars. We knew that I was going to give this book 5 stars from the very first page. I just loved this story. I was also dreading this story every single page. I was like, I don't want to know what happens. I don't want to know what happens. I don't want to know what happens, because you know that it's going to break your heart, and you know you're going to be devastated, but you still want to just read this book. And I did, and it was so sad. I was sad every single page. I highlighted most of this book. Oh my god. I just don't put sticky notes because I don't like that. I don't put tabs. I just highlight things and write some thoughts down. I'm sure one day I'm going to reread this book. I'm honestly at a loss of words for this book. I love the characters. I love the journey that we took with these characters. I always love it when somebody is telling you a story from what happened, and you know that technically it does not have a great ending, and it's being hinted at that something devastating is coming your way from the very beginning, but you're just holding on to hope that it's going to go another way, and it doesn't, and it just breaks you in the best way. And I just love Friedrich Bachmann's writing. I just love being in his mind, and the way that he writes things is great. I enjoyed every second of this book. I cried. I highlighted things. As somebody Okay, why is this so hard for me to talk about this book? I usually can talk about the books that I love for such a long time, but honestly right now I'm at a loss of words. I can just tell you that as somebody who has been dealing with depression since I was 12, I think, officially. I'm sure it was there before that, but that's when I kind of noticed it. I got these characters so much. I got Louisa, I got Ted, I got the artist, not gonna spoil anything, I got UR, I got the other character that I'm not going to name because again, don't want to spoil anything. I got every character that was in this book, and it hurt me to get them because I could easily imagine being here. I read about Fisher and I was like, that's me. There was a beautiful sentence here. What was it? Hold on. I'm going to find it for you because I cried on that one. Hold on. It was at the beginning. Okay. But Louisa knows the truth. Fish was murdered by reality. She was suffocated by the claustrophobia of being trapped on this planet. She died of being sad all the time. That's the reality that I have lived for many years. And if you've had, I don't know if I can say this on YouTube, but if you have had this kind of thoughts, you know that feeling of, I think I'm going to one day die because of being sad all the time. And that's just sad. And it just kind of reminded me so much, some parts of it, Deluisa parts of it reminded me so much of a Nina Lecker book, Hold Still. And there was a quote in that, I'm going off the cuff with my memory, so if it's wrong, sorry, that a girl just writes for her best friend that don't search for reasons that why I did it. The sun just stopped shining for me, that's all. And it just reminded me so much of that, and I could understand every single character and this is not a happy book. So if you can understand the character, then you're sad all the time because everybody here is sad. Sorry for the fact that my thoughts are just disheveled and I don't know what I'm saying. It just had such an emotional impact on me that I can't really think about it too deep or I will start crying. So, with that, 5 stars, please read this book, but please be in a good mental space and take care of your mental health first. Okay? Okay, now that we're done with that, I'm fine. Let me get a sip of coffee. Right, now that we're done with that, we're going to move on to the second book that I'm going to read for this vlog. That's going to be The Final Act of Juliet Willoughby. And that's a book that was on Megan's favorite books of the year list. And the summary just sounded really cool to me, that a missing painting was found by this university students, and now it's years later, they're in Dubai, there's a murder. It's a murder mystery, and it has dual timelines. That's all I know. That's all I need to know. I'm going to get to reading that book, and hopefully I'm going to love it as much as I did my friend. And let's just hope that it doesn't break my heart like that one did. I need something light, something fun, something mysterious. Let's go. I'm doing much better, thank you for asking. I got out of that headspace and I got right into reading The Final Act of Juliet Willoughby. I'm not that much into it, I'm just 10% in. I think I'm going to love this book. I'm so intrigued. The beginning was amazing. It set us up for such a great mystery, and from what I'm getting from this 10%, it's a few mysteries. There are some journal entries that the mystery of those journal mysteries are going to be solved on its own, I think, and I love journal entries. I love it when there's a mysterious thing happening in the past and you have journal entries of that past. Love it. It's been a very long time since I read a thriller that I enjoyed, and I'm enjoying this one so much. I'm really hopeful that this is going to be another 5-star, please. If the story doesn't go crazy and just ruin everything, I think I'm going to love it. We'll see how it goes, but right now I'm really hopeful. Just have it in mind that I'm 10% in, so take that with a grain of salt. See you later. Guess who's already 40% into the final act of Juliet Willoughby? I cannot, for the life of me, put this book down and come talk to you. I had to force myself and be like, hey, you're filming a vlog, go sit down, talk about this book, because I just wanted to read and it is really good. The timelines are amazing. There are some stories, especially thrillers, when the dual timeline just spoils another. And you read this one and it spoils the next timeline, or vice versa. And you're like, why did you have to have 2 timelines if you were going to ruin both stories with it? But in this book, you have two timelines, and each of these timelines, you have more than one POV. Actually, you kind of have three timelines. If we want to be more specific, we have the past of these university students, and when they. Did I even tell you what this is about? I don't think that I did. So, our two main characters, when they were in university, found this painting that just changed their lives. Okay? This painting is a very well-known painting right now at the timeline that we are at, but at that timeline it was a lost painting by a very mysterious painter that was from a very well-known family, but she was not that known, and she was allegedly killed in a fire. And now in our timeline, in the present timeline, we have these two trying to sell that painting in Dubai, and everything just goes around. You get to read about the past of the painter, the person that disappeared and stuff. You're going to read that, and everything that was going on that timeline. You're going to realize how these two get into that being obsessed with that painting and then painter and trying to figure out all of this mystery. And then you have present time, that is now that the painting is very well known in the world and everybody wants to buy it, and there's a murder in this timeline that is kinda related to that painting. Okay, so you have three timelines actually, and each of them have a kinda different mystery, but they're woven together in a very great way, because at the end they're all related, but at each time you have different things. So when you read the past, you don't spoil the future, or when you get to the future, you don't spoil the very past. You know what I mean. So it's really, really great. The journal entries are helping the story build up and the tension rise, which is something that I really love. I like the relationship between these two because they're in love and they have a romantic relationship, at least in this timeline of when they're young. And usually in mystery books or thrillers, I cannot care about the relationship between these two, because all I care about is to know what the hell happened, and you're telling me about these two people kissing and falling in love. Usually I don't care, but in this one they have a very beautiful relationship. Each of these characters have a kind of backstory that helps me relate to them more, so they're really great for this story. I'm talking too much. Just know that I'm really enjoying it and it is delicious. I'm just eating it all up. It's really, really great. Until now that I'm 40% in, I really recommend this book. Just that I checked my notes to see if I had anything else to tell you, and there's only one thing that I didn't mention. They're in Cambridge. They're Cambridge students, and I love the vibe of Cambridge. I just love that. I love the accents. I love it when book characters are in Cambridge speaking British. That's one of my niche things that I love. See you later. Yeah. I finished it. I finished this book in less than 24 hours. I think it took me 6 hours to read this book. Somewhere around that. I was just sitting down reading it, and then I had to exercise, so I switched to audio. Okay, imagine this. I was on the ground. I was lying down on my back, doing something. My legs were up in the air, and I was listening to the final pages of this book on audio, and then a twist hit, and I was leg up, and my jaw fell. I was like a cockroach. It was I started laughing at myself because it was a very funny thing, but I was so shocked, and I was like, what? Here's the thing, there was a plot twist that I had predicted. So when we got to the plot twist, I was like, well, I knew this was coming, but it's still good because, the journey was good, I was interested, it's fine. It's okay that I figured it out before. There was another plot twist after that one. And that was the actual twist, not the one that I expected. I predicted one that she wanted me to predict, and then we got to the actual plot twist, and my jaw fell. This was really great, guys. Great character building, which is something really, really rare in mystery thrillers. Great pacing. Pacing is very important when you're writing a mystery, and usually the authors drop the ball while coming to pacing. But the pacing in this book was really, really great. The mysteries were perfect. The plot twists came when you needed them to. The atmosphere was amazing. The way these timelines covered each other and built upon each other were great. I loved everything. I even loved the relationship between these two characters very, very much. And I do think that these two people were built for each other, which again is very rare in mystery thrillers. 5 stars. This is my second 5 star of this vlog. I'm not that shocked because I picked these books based on the booktubers that I knew I loved and I had the same taste as them. But I loved it so much more than I thought. I thought it was going to be a mystery. I was going to kind of like it, but I really, really enjoyed it. And it was very amazing. I'm really glad that I did. And 5 stars. I don't know how to give it any less than 5. Now I'm going to get to the next book that I'm going to read in this vlog. I got this book from Katie's list. It is Dungeon Crawler Carl. That's a book that has been on my TBR for a little while. I've heard that this is like a video game. The world ends and this man with boxers that is on the cover can go into this game that has different levels and try to win so that he can survive or something like that. I've always been interested in reading it and realizing what this is about, and it was on Katie's list and I love Katie. So I thought, okay, that's a great opportunity to just read that book. And now that's what I'm going to do. But not today. Yeah, I'm going to... what time is it? It's 7. I'm going to go have dinner. And, yeah, I'm going to go have dinner. And I'm going to start reading that book tomorrow. Because right now I'm tired. And I just enjoyed that book so much that I don't want to ruin it. Okay, see you later. Loved the final act of Juliet Willoughby. Read that book. Okay, see you tomorrow. Good afternoon. I know I was supposed to update you in the morning while I started reading Dungeon Crawler Carl, but here's the thing. I started reading it and I got into 10-15% and I was hating it. I thought I could come here and tell you, okay, if you want to read this book, please do not pick it up via audio. The audiobook was really bad. The music, it was like an immersive version of it. I don't know. The music was too distracting and annoying, especially because I speed up the audiobooks while listening to them, and it was annoying. There were so many loud noises that were just taking me away from the story. I wasn't liking it. So I thought, okay, this is a me problem, maybe. I'm going to read more, I'm going to get more into the story so that I can have more things to say, and that's only fair that I read a little bit more and give it some chance. I read until 40%, and I really couldn't do it anymore. The sounds were driving me crazy. The story itself was not interesting enough for me. It was exactly like a video game, but not a very interesting one. Sorry. I'm usually one of those people who love character driven stories, but I can read plot driven ones if the plot itself is good. This one had no character building. The characters were exactly video game. I don't know what they're called. Avatars? I don't know. They were just there to complete the game. They had no personalities, and the little small tiny personality traits that they had, I hate it. I hated every second of it, and I was at 40% and I was going to push through and finish it and come here, and then I realized I don't have to. And there's an option that's called DNF. I DNF'd Dungeon Crawler Carl. I am sorry. I wanted to like it. I even had the next books of the series on my wait list for the library, but I hated it so much that I was like, I'm done. And then that reminded me of the other book that I DNF'd last year in 2025, The Way Up Is Death. And then I realized, okay, maybe it's not these books that are bad, maybe they're just not for me. I don't like books that are like a game that people have to go through these different levels, and you're so focused on these levels of the game that you have no focus on these characters. There are no emotions, there's nothing. But I'm still going to tell you, if you want to read this book, read it physically. The audiobook, if there's a normal audiobook, maybe that's fine. I didn't have access to that. I only had the immersive version, and it was really bad. So bad. I'm sure a lot of people are going to enjoy it because some people do love graphic audios and stuff, and I'm fine with them. I usually don't go for them because it distracts my brain and I cannot focus on the story itself. But this one was just annoying. The sounds, the noises, and I'm going to mention something. There were two characters in this book that were called Rory and Lorelai. Together. These two were together in a group setting thing. I'm not going to spoil it. And they were Rory and Lorelai. And I was like, the last thing that I was waiting for in this game-like book were a Gilmore Girls mention. That was just a jump scare for me. And yeah, I'm sorry. I wanted to push through, but I just couldn't. And I DNF'd this book. Sorry, Katie. I love Katie. I love her recommendations. For some reason, this one just didn't work out for me, and I had to DNF it. Now I'm going to do some research. I had some books that I wanted to read, but now I'm not in the mood of because I'm a definite mood reader. So I'm now going to do some research, watch some of the favorite books of the year videos that I've watched previously again, and watch some that I haven't from the BookTubers that I love. And I'm going to pick another book and tell you what it's about. It's probably going to take me the whole day. Maybe I'm going to update you tonight. If not, I'm going to be here tomorrow. Yeah. Let's see what the next book is going to be. See you. For you, it's going to be a few seconds. For me, it's going to be a few hours. See you in a few hours. Guess how long it hasn't been? A few hours. It's been exactly 3 days and a few hours. Yes. I was reading a Delilah S. Dawson book, House of Idol, and I was so invested in that book that I was like, okay, I'm going to take a pause on the vlog, finish this one, then get back into that. Then I was mentally not okay because something happened to my cat. And I don't want to make you upset, but I lost him, and I just wasn't in the mental space to come here and read a book, but now I am. I wanted to change genres a little bit. I realized that I read a very dark, devastating Frederick Backman book, so contemporary. Then I read a very amazing mystery thriller one, The Final Act of Juliet Willoughby. Then I got into the DNF and the disappointment of Dungeon Crawler Carl. And now it's time for the last book. So I wanted a different genre. I should have either picked romance, fantasy, or fantasy romance. That was only fair. And I'm not really in the mood for fantasy, and I haven't been for a couple of months. I don't know why. I'm sure I'll get back to it, but right now I'm really not in the mental space of fantasy. That left me with romance. And there are a few booktubers that I love romance recommendations from, and I get them from them all the time. And I just watched their videos and saw the books and saw which one of them I wanted to read more, and I landed on Larry. I love Larry's book recommendations. I love her mom's more. I don't know, I just love her mom, and I love her energy so much. So I went with her and I picked a book that she recommended. It's called Left of Forever. And she said, the moment she said it was second chance romance, I was like, that's for me. Give me my book. I'm going to read it and I'm sure I'm going to love it, because no matter what happens and how bad second chance romance is, the fact that it is second chance romance gives it at least 2 stars from me. Second chance is one of my favorite tropes, if not my favorite. And I've heard recently from some creators that they don't like second chance romance. And I was like, how? How can you not like second chance romance? It's peak tension, yearning, arguments that lead into make-up sex. What don't you like? I get that people have different tastes. I'm joking. But it's really one of my favorites, especially the tension between them when they're fighting about what went wrong and the misunderstandings. Love those moments. So that's really great. I'm here for it. From what I've gathered, this is about a divorced couple, and their son, their teenage son, is going off to college, and they're going to go with him to set him up. And on the way back, they're going to take this road trip to figure out if they can make their relationship work again or not. Closed space. Probably they're going to get into a hotel or something. There's probably going to be only one bed. I'm probably going to eat this book up. I'm so ready. I'm so ready to feel better with a great book that's fun and quick and not that deep. Let's hope that this book is going to help me, because I've been so sad for so long. I've been drained. Let's hope that the magic of books can help me, and let's get into this second chance romance with Larry's recommendation. Let's hope that I'm going to like it and this vlog ends on a high note, because the last book was not it. Okay? See you later. .39% in. I am in love with this book. Oh my god, how did I get here? I can't believe I haven't been this obsessed with a romance book in a very long time. I keep going and trying to study or do something else with my life because I have a lot of things to do. I need to clean the house, I need to study, I have so many things that I need to do, but my mind just keeps getting back to this couple. So I switched to audiobook. I'm listening to the audiobook while cleaning the house, and I am loving this book. I love the tension between them. I love the sweetness of this man. This man is in love with her. Like, really, really in love. He worships her. And I just love it so much. The relationship between them is so great. Not just a romantic relationship, they have this co-parentship with each other. They're just great. And I love the nickname that he has for her. I don't know if it's a spoiler. It's Bird. But I'm not going to tell you why it's so cute and so lovely and so adorable that his nickname for her is Bird. Just know that it's Bird. And her name is Ren. I just love this book. I'm just loving this book so much. I think I'm going to finish it today. No, okay. I want to finish it in one day, but I want to pace myself so that I don't finish it in one day. I want to be in this book for more than a day. Okay, I'm going to calm myself down. I'm going to do some studying. I'm going to come back to reading it tonight. And then we'll see how it goes. If I finish it today or if I can keep myself back and wait for it to happen tomorrow. I don't know if I have the patience. I just don't know. I'm sorry, my mind just wandered. Oh, one thing that I didn't tell you, I love the cast of all the side characters in this one. I know that there has been another book before this one because I can see the mentions of this couple that was from the previous book. I'm probably going to read that one too later. And I can see the build up of other characters being main characters. So this is going to be a series, and I'm sure I'm going to love every one of them, but these two are something else. I love them. I love how much he loves her. I just love that and how much he cares about her. And he's such a good person. He tries to take care of everybody else. And it's like he has the weight of the world on his shoulders. I'm like, girl, how did you let him go? How did you convince yourself to be like, okay, you can go and be for someone else? If I had this kind of person in my life, I would have held on for dear life, and I couldn't even imagine letting someone else be with them. He just loves her so much more than she loves him, and I'm like, no. They have been with each other since they were children. Not romantically, they've been friends since they were children. Then they started dating, they got pregnant when they were 17, 18. And I'm like, I wish I had someone like him in my life. He's such a great, lovely guy. I love Ellis. His name is Ellis. I love him. And I'm just obsessed with this book. I'll update you later, or I will ramble on for hours. I'm so glad I picked this book up. So glad. It was such a beautiful book. It made me cry so many times, and there's nothing sad about this book. This is a very beautiful story of love and rediscovering yourself and your love and rebuilding a relationship. And there was nothing in it that was worth crying, and I was crying. I don't know what it reminded me of. I'm sure it did remind me of my other relationships, but I was like, I love Ellis. This man is my dream man with all of his baggage, and I just loved Ellis. And I did not want this book to end. I was enjoying them so much. I loved the fact that they communicated with each other because they wanted to build this relationship again and they wanted to do it right. I loved the fact that there were journal entries and they read it kind of together, kind of not, it's fine. They walked over all the problems that they had. They talked so many times about every problem that they had. They had perfect communication. I know that they didn't when they were first together, and it was them trying to fix it, but they talked about everything so beautifully. They were smart in it, which is something that I did not expect, at least to this degree. I loved it. It it touched my heart. It broke it, and I'm so sad that I'm done with these two people that absolutely adored each other and they were built for each other. They were soulmates, and I loved getting to spend time with them. And Ellis, oh, I really hope that I find somebody that loves me in the way that Ellis loved, not just Ren, everybody. He was just somebody who loved everybody so deeply and from the bottom of his heart. I loved that. And I cannot believe that Ren can have him and I can't. And I know that that's not logical and it's a book. But oh my god, did I love this book. There was a quote that I cried over. And I'm going to read it to you because this is not something that you cry over. Yes, it's sad and it's beautiful, but oh my god, what is wrong with me? Okay, this is it. Because you make up half of my soul. Because as desperate as I am to be near you, to be inside you, I'm terrified that having you this close again will also remind you of all the parts of me you wanted to leave. What is wrong with me? I don't know. I loved it. I loved the fact that it was second chance romance. I loved the way that they could talk about every problem that they had so openly and so honestly, and they walked us through everything that went on and why it went wrong. Silent treatments, the not fighting, they built this relationship up, and you could see that they love each other so much, and this is meant to be. They reminded me kinda of Lexi and Mark from Grey's Anatomy. They're meant to be with each other no matter what. Just reminded me so much of them. I loved them so much. I loved this book so much. 5 stars. If I didn't tell you that, sorry. 5 stars. I love it. Thank you, Larry, for giving me this book. Because I would have never found this book if it wasn't for her. I'd never even heard of this book. And I'm so glad that I got to read this one thanks to her and thanks to this vlog. Thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. I really needed it because I have been in a very dark space mentally and everything around me is just falling apart all the time. And I realized that if I don't try with this vlog, with other vlogs, with reading books, with doing things that I love to get myself out of my head, it's really going to cost me deeply. I'm on my medication now. I started my medication again. Things are crazy, so if I ever do not upload, know that it's either my mental health or my internet. Thank you so much for being here. The fact that you're here is the thing that helps me make these videos and be happy for a few hours a day. So I appreciate you so much. It means so much to me to have you here. Thank you, thank you, thank you for listening to me talk about these books and coming on this journey with me. It was one of the best things that I did in the past couple of months, and it was really enjoyable for me. It got me out of my head, it got me into very great books, except this one that made me hurt even more. This one just broke me, but the rest, they made me happy. I had a great time with you. Thank you so much for being here, for supporting me. I would really appreciate it if you like this video, comment down below, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, welcome, and I hope you stay here. See you in the next video. Bye bye.